I'm off to work again. It's Wednesday morning. No idea what's happened to the weather this morning. It is really, it's not only cloudy, it's cold as well. I put my washing out, so I'm hoping it really does brighten up. Yesterday, it was quite a nice day. The sun was out, it was blue skies, and we've got fluffy white clouds, but there was a definite edge to the wind. It was definitely cool. So I'm hoping we're going to get the same today, that this cloud's just going to shift. That's my delusional thought for today. And I had a bit of a shock when I got into work yesterday. There should have been 3 of us, and when I got to work I realised that there was just me. I don't know how straight this camera is, and I shouldn't be touching it, otherwise I could get into trouble. But yeah, there was just myself. One of the women was off already last week, so it was always 50-50 whether she was gonna come in or not, and the other woman, what should have been in, obviously phoned in sick as well. But luckily it turned out not to be too bad a day, so fingers crossed. I'm hoping today's pretty okay as well. There's only going to be someone in this afternoon. She comes in about 1:45. So I am on my own this morning, which I know. But yeah, fingers crossed she'll be in this afternoon. So if there's any work to carry over, she can help me this afternoon. Do you know, some cars really get close to you. But for for absolutely ages now, I've been wanting to learn how to do some embroidery. I've had some embroidery floss for absolutely, it must be over a year, because I got intentions of doing this, that and the other with it, and then I never did anything. Getting down this corner. So I've decided I want to try and embroider some actual letters onto some t-shirts. So I've already got the embroidery thread, floss, whatever it's called. I've got the t-shirts. They're just plain ones, so I don't have to buy any t-shirts. I'm not sure whether you're supposed to use a special needle, but I'm just going to go with what I've got in the house. So I just started looking at some YouTube tutorials on how to do it as a beginner, and I very naively thought there'd only be one way to sort of like embroider, but apparently there's absolutely loads of different stitches. Some are really quite complicated, but for what I want to do, because I want like bubble writing, I want like quite a wide letters. So I'm going to use I think it's called a satin stitch, which looks quite easy to do. But then I've got the dilemma of how to get the writing on the t-shirts, because there's no way I can do it freehand. I'm not that neat, and I don't have anything like a stencil. So on one of these tutorials, what she was showing you was she'd got a phone and she put the light on, the torch on, she put it down on a table and put a glass, sort of like a glass Pyrex dish over the top of the phone, so it acted like they called a light box. And then she put a piece of paper, because she'd been on Canva and she'd wrote out what she wanted, did it on Canva, so she got a nice cursive script, put that on top of the glass box, and then put a fabric on top, and it seemed to work quite well. Right, I'm going to do my good deed for the day. I'm going to let somebody out of this junction, because there are, mind you, there's quite a few coming, so we'll see. Come on if you come in. Oh, he's got his ticker on, and he didn't. Do you know? Somebody's just had the ticker on to say that they were going to go up that junction, and they didn't. Oh yeah, you see, this is why I do it. He just flashed his lights at me, and that's why I do it, because it gives me a bit of a buzz. But that could have caused a right accident then. They've come off the roundabout, and they've obviously forgot to take the ticker off, and it looked like they were going up there, and this car very nearly pulled out. But anyway, back to the main subject, embroidery. So I'm hoping that is how I'm going to do it, but the problem is I don't have a glass dish to do it with. So I'm going to go around to my sister, who lives next door, and see if she's got one. If not, I'm going to go probably to Poundland and see if I can get just a cheap glass. Don't even have to be glass, it could be see-through, but it needs to be big enough so that I can get the words on it, because I'm going to try and do it in one word, if that makes sense, trace around it. But the only other way I can think of doing it is to actually cut these words out and use them as a stencil, but how neat can I cut them out? That's the thing. But anyway, that is my next project that I'd really like to do, and just see if I can get something on a t-shirt. I think somewhere in the house I do have a plain black tote bag, but you know when you put stuff away for safekeeping, and I cannot remember where I put it, but I've got some boxes on top of the wardrobe in the box room. It could be in there, so I'm gonna maybe look in there as well. But if anybody's got any tips for embroidering, then please let me know. Quite fancy doing it in multicoloured colours. I think that looked quite nice. I've got a pink t-shirt, a navy blue, a dark grey, and I've got a white one. But the thing is about the white one, it's what you call a slouchy t-shirt, so it's got quite a round open neck, and like I say, it's got that loose fit, so I'm not sure that one would be the best one to do it in. But yeah, so I ordered some heat erasable pens off Amazon, and they came yesterday. I forgot I'd ordered them, and then all of a sudden after I got home from work, something started coming through the letterbox, and then I remembered I'd ordered them. So hopefully they will work on my t-shirts. So once that's done, if it's a success, I'll show you. I've also been doing a few necklaces as well, so I'll show you them as well on a different video. So I've just arrived into work. I just need to just reverse in, and I was watching another video last night, another YouTube video. I don't know if you saw the little video I did yesterday, because I've started following, let me just see if I'm in lines, started following this neuroscientist, and I think she's absolutely amazing, quite honestly. She really knows her stuff. And so one of the things she says to you is to be a bit delusional in your thoughts, because it just normalizes, if you're wanting to achieve something and you feel like it's a bit out of your control, start having some delusional thoughts, because your brain gets used to it and you can train your brain. So when I come here to work, I always park in the same spot. So I'm going to confess to you now, because I do think of this spot as my spot, and I park here every day that I'm in work. Don't care what happens when I'm not here, obviously, but on the days that I work, I do think of this as my spot. And I think if I came in and somebody was actually parked in what I think is my spot, I think it'd really upset my day. So I always try and make sure I get here and get my favourite spot. Does anybody else have a favourite kind of like things like that in your parking spot, or when we go into a cafe, if it's the same one that we go in, which we've got a few regular ones that we're going in our hometown, and we always like to sit in the same seat. So it's not just me, I know my husband's like it as well. But yeah, let me know, do you have any sort of delusional thoughts and what they are? I'd love to hear from you anyway. This neuroscientist is actually doing a free masterclass tomorrow night, and I've signed up for this class because I thought, yeah, that sounds absolutely great. And she's doing 2 times. She's doing 2 o'clock and she's doing 8 o'clock. And automatically I just went and signed up for the 8 o'clock one. But she's American, and I've obviously realised since that I think America is, I think it's 6 hours behind the UK, which means it's going to be like 2 o'clock in the morning here. And there's just absolutely no way I'm going to be awake. So I'm going to try, if possible, to see if I can sign up to the 2 o'clock one as well, which I think would be, it would obviously be about 8 o'clock here. So that's what I'm going to see if I can do today. But yeah, I've got to work. I'm going to go in. I always have my breakfast when I get to work. I don't like eating too early, so I have to be out and about a bit. So I'm going to go grab my breakfast. Oh, and the other delusional thought that I'm going to have today is because I'm training my brain, I'm telling it that I'm going to have a good day. Regardless of what happens in there today, I am going to have a good day. And I hope you also have a good day. Although by the time I've actually put this up, the day will have gone. So I hope you've had a nice day. But yeah, let me know, delusional thoughts. Do you have any? Or is it just me? See you next time. Thanks for watching.